We're not even messing audio ducking at 1 a.m.
Who's tuning into the radio at 1 a.m.?
Probably no one, but if we don't do a show now, then Huck is gonna be mad because we missed our last one.
What's with that voice?
It's my radio at night voice.
I like.
Suffer with us. Show us that you care.
You came up with those lyrics out of nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you a nickel. It doesn't cost a dime.
It's audio ducking with Hawk and Jemima. Yeah.
All right.
All right, indeed.
We are here by ourselves. It is literally 12:52 as we are recording this. No joke. And Huck is not in studio because he's in bed, and Kyle's not in studio. Me and Jemima met out here real late, and I wonder how many people are listening right now.
Well, Huck has the numbers up on the screen in his office, and I don't want to go into his office.
Yeah, me neither.
But I do want to keep you all entertained on this spooky October evening. So today we're going to tell some scary stories.
Oh, wow, Jemima initiating the fun for once. Okay, Jemima, go ahead and tell us a scary story.
Well, I initiated it. I thought you'd continue it. Come on, surely you've got something disturbing. You turned yourself inside out last time.
All right, I'll tell the story. It was a dark and stormy day. I was on the beach. Well, the sun sure is shining out here today. I love the beach. I'm just gonna toast my buns in the sun. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Take a little nap on this towel. Oh yeah, that's the spot.
No one needs to hear about you toasting your buns on the sand.
Well, it scared you, didn't it?
Okay, here's my scary story. It was a late night, near 1 a.m. in the morning, and Hawk and Jemima, two random ducks, one being a male and one being a female, met up at a studio and recorded an awful show, and the 7.5 listeners were mortified by what they heard.
Oh, that is scary.
Okay.
No, I mean, a 7.5? Half a person? Gosh, that's kind of spooky.
Can you not say it like that?
Spooky. It's kind of spooky.
You sound so stupid.
Well, how do you say
spooky.
it? Spooky.
Okay, no matter how you say it, it sounds dumb.
Gee, thanks.
Oh, he's angry. That's spooky.
Spooky.
Stop!
Is that the door behind us?
No, that's the door downstairs.
Yeah, this building's kind of old and creepy. I don't want to go downstairs.
That's like the basement door.
Let's just stay up here.
Well, what if it's important?
It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. No one should be knocking on our basement door.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's just pretend we didn't...
Yeah, I can't pretend I didn't hear that. Now would be a good time for a scary story.
I don't really want to hear one right now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one anyway. Here we go. So, have you ever heard of Papa PeeWee?
Who?
Papa PeeWee.
Papa PeeWee. Doesn't ring a bell.
Papa Periwinkle, Papa PeeWee?
Papa Periwinkle PeeWee. No, I don't know who that is.
Alright, well, legend has it, Papa Periwinkle PeeWee was the man who used to make the donuts at the donut shop. Most people just refer to him as Papa, or Papa PeeWee, but his full legal name on his birth certificate is Papa Periwinkle PeeWee.
Aha. You sure got me scared, Hawk.
Yeah, well, there's a thing called the Papa Tracker. Ever heard of that?
Is that for, like, the pizza?
No. It's for the PeeWee. The Papa PeeWee.
Right,
Okay, now listen. I'm going to tell you the entire story. I'm going to try to make it fast, but I don't want you to get too scared. I don't want you all over me, hugging me, and begging me to stay by your side and protect you. You gotta be strong, Jemima.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Great, here's the story. So, there was a man. He used to mix donut batter.
Donut batter?
Donut batter. He'd mix it with his hands, you see? His big, hairy hands. We're not talking about a little guy. We're talking about a big man with 2 long strands of a mustache, a scruffy little beard, one squished down eye pointing in one direction, one big round eye pointing in the other, strands of hair on his head, like that kid who sat in the pumpkin patch waiting for the pumpkin.
His name was Linus.
Don't act like you're cool with Linus. You're not cool with anyone, especially not a Chad like Linus. Anyway, Papa PeeWee worked at this donut shop mixing donuts with his hands. People would come in and say, "How you do, Periwinkle? How you do, Papa? How you do, Papa PeeWee?" And he was a nice guy. He'd go, "Oh, I'm jolly good." More like, "Oh, I'm jolly good," in his deep voice. Oh, he had a deep voice. He was part Italian, too, so they say. So one day, he didn't show up to work. And no one knew what happened to him. They were thinking something bad had happened. Jemima, this is when it gets scary. You think you're okay to hear it?
I would rather not hear any of this. It's all very stupid. But it's not because I'm scared.
Great. Well, as long as you're not scared, I'll proceed. Um, he didn't show up to work, but he showed up at his boss's house.
His boss's house?
Yeah.
Like at the door?
No, not exactly. That night, his boss, Mr. Dave Schmills, went to bed. Dave Schmills was an honest man. He worked hard for his living, but he wasn't willing to give Papa the raise he was wanting. Papa wanted a big raise, like tripling his salary, and all he did was mix donuts. It wasn't worth tripling a salary over, and it really wasn't a fair deal.
So Mr. Dave went to bed,
not knowing that Papa PeeWee was right behind his bedboard. But Papa didn't look the same. No, Mr. Papa Periwinkle PeeWee was looking a little bit different. His eyes were bright red, his mustache was jagged, he had sharp teeth, and he said,
Dave,
you should have given me that money. It could have been as simple as that.
As simple as that.
And no one knows what happened to Dave.
Oh, spooky.
There was no sign of a murder.
It gets worse.
No sign of death. He's
Oh.
not a murderer as far as anyone can tell.
Oh, yeah.
But he knows how to make people disappear.
Ooh, chills.
This was just the first case of many. Another very similar story, I couldn't possibly go over all of them, was a girl named Smood and her boyfriend Snood, and they were staying in a beach house. Well, it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. It was a hurricane-y type of night on the beach. The weather was not good, needless to say. She looked out the window and didn't see anything, except for the trees blowing in the wind. She turned around, looked back, and there was a huge 450-pound man with dark pink eyes and a big gaping mouth staring right back at her. Then the moment he closed his mouth, it was so small, so tiny, like the shape of a U, frowning. He did smile sometimes, but when you saw him smile, you knew it was over with. Well, she saw him smile. She screamed. She jumped backwards. She pulled on the blind to close it, and then she ran to the other room, screaming to Snood to tell him what happened. When Snood went to open the blind, no one was there. When Snood went to the closet to get a towel for a shower, someone was in that closet. This is the only case, Jemima, where people have survived Papa PeeWee. They got away. They lived. They booked it. They ran into the night. There were tornado sirens going off, and the hurricane was wild, but they just ran through it all just to get far away from the cabin. And when they turned around, he was standing right behind them. They swear he was glitching in and out of existence, like some video game glitch. It was tough to describe.
The door startled me. The story's
Did I
stupid.
stop?
You can't.
All right, I'll proceed. Papa PeeWee has a pony named Polina.
Oh, a horse.
Yeah, that's right. Polina the pony. She's not an ordinary horse. She's Papa PeeWee's servant. She does everything Papa wants. She carries him around to help him do his dirty deeds. Most people say Polina's a well-intentioned horse. She's not just any horse either. She has a lot of personality, but she's been indentured. Somehow something happened where she owes Papa PeeWee, and she has really no choice but to do this. She doesn't want to disappear, right? I mean, what would you do?
I would,
The Papa Tracker tells us where Papa PeeWee is. It helps us keep an eye on this man. Look, Jemima, over the past few years, so many people have disappeared. You wouldn't believe it. They always catch a glimpse of him, and then they're gone. He might smile, they might scream, and then you might never see them again. But there's no murder, there's no nothing, no one knows what's happening. He's also rumored to crawl out of toilets, so I would definitely keep the lid down at all times. Some people say that keeping the lid down keeps him away. Of course, this is just a crazy theory. The rest of this is at least somewhat logical, but the idea of a 450-pound man crawling through the sewage pipes to me seems a little odd. But then again, if Santa can do it, then he probably can too.
What type of twisted Christmas are you smoking?
What do you mean?
Santa doesn't crawl through the sewer pipes.
Well, how do you think he gets in when you don't have a chimney?
The door.
So people just leave their door unlocked, Jemima? Be reasonable. Imagine if we had left our door unlocked.
You know, as goofy as that story is, why don't you check the Papa Tracker?
Yeah, you know, that's probably not a bad idea. Jemima? Is that your phone?
Yeah?
What's it say?
Papa's in the area.
Jemima?
Hawk, say psych right now. Say psych. Say you're messing with me.
I swear I'm not messing with you. The stairs, I hear him on the stairs. Maybe he won't see us. Jemima, if he's here, he already knows. It's over with. I love you, Jemima. I love every moment I spent with you. I hope we have no regrets.
Well, I...
Guys, when I told you had to do a radio show to make up for missing the last one, I didn't mean you had to be here at 1 o'clock in the morning. What's going on?
Oh, Huck! What a
Huck,
relief!
Papa PeeWee was after us, and you saved us. Oh, please, pull out that MG-47
I had
for us.
$1 for every time I heard that.
Look, Huck! The Papa alarm! The Papa tracker! Papa PeeWee! The disappearance of Schmood and Schnood
and the...
Stop. Who is Papa PeeWee? I've never heard of this guy. Give me a description.
Well, he's this big 450-pound man with bright red eyes and why are you looking at me like that, Huck?
Well, it's just odd that I ran into a man who looked exactly like that on the way here. He was outside the studio. I introduced myself to him. He was cordial enough. He said he worked at the donut shop down the street.
Huh.
And then his eyes turned bright red and he smiled at me. It was kind of creepy, so I ran.
Huck,
Yes, Hawk?
you weren't followed, were you?
I don't know if I was... Uh-oh.